I said, God, give me a sign. He gave me 5. He said, watch for the pride, envy and lies. He said, don't reach for hands if there's a tide. Don't tell them that you love them if they ain't tried. If they ain't tried, none. They said I couldn't come out. I came in like Juggernaut. They said I couldn't.
We're gonna do this all in one take. Welcome back to True Kings Podcast. I'm your host, LJ Johnson. Today, we're back and we're discussing something that has been very prevalent in the media. First off, I want no toxicity on this video whatsoever. That's why I'm probably going to turn the comments off, because I know if there's a good amount of people to see this, I don't know how many people will. It's still an upcoming channel, but if there's a good amount of people that see this, I already know the comment section is going to be crazy, going back and forth on everything, a lot of toxicity. So I'll probably turn the comments off on this video, but we are clearly discussing the Tory Lanez Meg Thee Stallion case, of course. But we're not going to go into any detail about it. I'm just going to kind of give my side of things. But more so, in a way, I'm kind of gonna be defending Meg Thee Stallion in this video. And I never thought you'd ever catch me defending Meg Thee Stallion. Now listen, let me take the glasses off for this, because this is gonna be a wild one. Look, I'm very much someone who I believe Tory Lanez is innocent. I've been saying he's been innocent the last 5 years, ever since Meg Thee Stallion came out with the allegation that he did what he did. But like I said, we're not gonna go into many details. I'm just gonna give my side on everything that's coming out recently, and specifically things that both parties have done wrong. And like I said, I'm not tolerating no slander on either side. You know, I am a Tory Lanez fan. I will go ahead and get that out the way. But like I said, I'm gonna be kind of defending Meg in this a little bit. And like I said, no slander on either side. No Meg Thee Stallion slander. No Tory Lanez slander. That's why I'm probably gonna turn the comment section off. But just know we're all entitled to feel how we feel. And first off, disclaimer: do not attach this situation between these two, between the whole thing that's going on between these two, to your personal life. And a lot of people, including myself, over the last 5 years have done that, and it has you really see how it's messed with people's minds. They're taking it super serious to the point to where there are people who are saying Tory Lanez deserved to almost be killed in prison. There are people sending money to the guy who just tried to kill him in prison and things of that nature. And if you're one of those people doing that, you're absolutely out of your mind. You need to go to therapy. Simple. But it's a crazy situation. So please don't attach this to your personal life. It is crazy. You know what I'm saying? What's going on. But first off, we're going to go over the things Tory did wrong. We're going to hold Tory a little bit accountable first. But we're also going to hold other people accountable in this instance. So one thing I've seen a lot of people say that in this whole case, and like I said, I'm not going to go over the whole case. If you want to be caught up on everything, there are 5 years worth of documents and everything worth five. And when I say documents, I mean YouTube videos and things of that nature of different people covering everything that's going on in this case. So if you want to go and watch that, by all means, go ahead and watch it. But one thing a lot of people are saying that Tory Lanez should have done from the get-go was tell exactly what happened. Tell about who actually had the gun, because as you know, evidence has come out that, you know, not just the evidence of the neighbor and what the bodyguard said that night, because now that's aligned and is saying that, hey, they're both come out and said that the neighbor said he didn't see Tory had the gun. He didn't see Tory had the gun. He said it looked like 2 women were arguing, and then the 2 men, the bodyguard and Tory, came and they tried to stop the 2 women from arguing, and then shots were fired. So the bodyguard never said Tory had the gun. He never knew who had the gun. He just came and said what he saw. That's what the neighbor said. The bodyguard who was there, though, came out and finally said that it wasn't Tory who popped off rounds. It was actually, he never said who did it. He just said it wasn't Tory. And it actually came out that Tory Lanez DNA, like I've heard basically was 100% on the gun. I've heard different reports, seen different reports where some reports claim, and some people claim that it was 99.9% or 99.6%. And then I've also seen 100%. I'm just gonna go ahead and say 100% because let's be honest, 99 point whatever, that's basically 100% not on the gun. And so there you go. But also, so that's sparked up a lot of reports. Also, like I said, right before the bodyguard came out and said that Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times in prison, and I think he's stabilized, but he might still be in the ICU right now. I don't know. But a lot of people are saying that Tory Lanez should have snitched. He should have came out and he should have snitched. He should have said who he thought did it, who he thought committed the attempted assault or assault with a deadly weapon. And the thing that I say about that is, yes, there are a lot of people who are sitting there saying that it's street code, it's street code, it's street code, it's street code, and we all know Tory Lanez is someone who he's not really like, yes, he can be, but he's not really known to be like a street guy. Yes, he's been kind of a hothead in the past. We know this. He's been kind of aggressive in the past, but to be known as a full blown like street thug, that's not Tory Lanez. He's the rapper. He's the R&B singer. That's what Tory Lanez is mainly known as. And the thing is, I like to look at a situation that happened in previous years. The whole 6ix9ine case, right? And when 6ix9ine came out and snitched, right? When he came out and he told on his whole gang and everything that happened. And this is a rapper. For those who know who 6ix9ine is, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he is a rapper. When he came out and he told everyone about what happened, with the RICO charge and everything, I think it was a RICO. 6ix9ine was let go. He was released back out into the public, but he was labeled as this snitch, right? Because he was looking at years upon years upon years if he didn't, but he did. And the world, the rap game, the world, the fans, everyone crucified 6ix9ine. I mean, it was it was terrible. Like he was still living his best life, but I mean, like everyone, like his streams started going down and everything. Like no one was taking him serious. Like he went from this beloved rapper who everyone, like, if you hated him, you still thought his music was lit. It was hard not to listen to him. He was becoming one of the biggest rappers in the world, to now looked at as a snitch, and no one's really playing 6ix9ine anymore. Like it hurt him snitching hurt his career. If I'm Tory Lanez, right, I'm looking at that situation and I'm going, well, if he snitched on a bunch of men and this crucified his career. Imagine if I snitch on this woman right here who apparently actually had the weapon. Imagine if I snitched on her. At this point in time, I got to remember Tory Lanez was being labeled as a man who didn't protect black women, and there are still a lot of y'all who are trying to label him as that right now. Who is being labeled as a man who didn't just protect women, but didn't protect black women. And so it was basically a lose-lose situation, because now if he goes out and snitches, not only will he be labeled as a snitch, not only will he be labeled as a snitch and his career potentially go in the toilet, just like how 6ix9ine's did. Either way, he was going to be labeled as a black man who didn't protect black women, and that's an issue. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like I said, us as black men, we already deal with the whole stigma that we hate black women, which is just not true. But that's just how society is nowadays, for whatever reason, or at least the black community is nowadays for some reason. I don't know why we're so divided, but like that's just what it is. So if I'm, like I said, if I'm Tory Lanez, I'm sitting there and I'm looking, either way is a lose-lose situation. And not to mention, even if let's say he was found innocent, like he didn't have to snitch, he didn't have to do none of that. He was found innocent, right? And he got off. There was still going to be many, many fans at that time, and even now, that would still be trying to crucify that man, right? Saying that he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. They'd be trying to find a reason to hate him and to put him in prison. Let's just be 100% honest. Let's be real. Now, do I think Tory should have snitched? Honestly, like I said, in hindsight, many of us are saying yes, he should have said something, like how he has been doing ever since he got convicted. But like I said, you can't really blame him for keeping his mouth shut for the most part. And a lot of people are saying he got convicted of other things. Hey, you feel how you feel. I'm just speaking on the things that many people have been saying. I'm not going to speak on what y'all think he got convicted of or what he didn't get convicted of. I'm just speaking on what others are saying. Now, let's go to the Meg side of things, and this is where I'm gonna defend Meg in a way. So, a lot of people are saying that Meg should hold herself accountable. Now, I believe she should hold herself accountable too. I like if it's truly true that she is lying, right? Because like I said, for 5 years I've been thinking Tory Lanez is innocent. I'll put that out there right now. I did it earlier. I've been someone for 5 years that has been like, yo, this man is innocent. He's innocent. He didn't do this. Because what and with all the information that she was coming out and giving, it didn't make any sense. I'm not gonna go there because I promise you there's one specific thing that was said that everyone knows that she said, but every time I hear it, it just makes me laugh because I'm like, that just sounds so unbelievable. But um, and I don't want to sound insensitive, but the question is because a few days after or before, the what was it? The congresswoman was like, "Oh, we're gonna post this new evidence 36 hours." By the way, they felt with that. They should have. What kind of evidence was that? That wasn't evidence that's gonna do anything. But um, y'all know Meg came out like the day prior to that and apparently got on Instagram or something. And like, I don't follow Meg. I don't pay attention to Meg Thee Stallion whatsoever, except for this case. I don't follow her on Instagram and things of that nature. I try to stay away from her. But apparently it was because it was going viral. She had made a post talk about how Tory Lanez is a demon, how he needs to leave her alone, and how all the Tory fans things. It just and the thing is, it's not even just Tory fans saying that he didn't do it. It's now like majority of people saying that Tory didn't do this anymore. Like a lot of fan bases, people that liked her in the industry and things like that, have essentially turned on her over the last like 3 years since Tory got convicted, and but this post was like her just completely ducking accountability if she was lying. And a lot of people are like, she needs to hold herself accountable. Well, that's all great and all. And by all means, I'm someone who was 100% down with people holding themselves accountable. I would love to see more people start holding themselves accountable. The problem with that, though, is this is probably the one time where I sit there and say she can, if she wants to hold herself accountable in her mind and behind the scenes, by all means go ahead, but she really cannot publicly hold herself accountable. She just can't. The reason why I'm saying this is because, and I said this to a friend, I had a conversation with a friend 3 years ago before the the court date happened, when the trial was going on, and I said it might have been a month or 2 or 3 months before everything happened, and before that trial happened, and I said Meg honestly cannot come out and say she lied anymore. As much as I would have loved for her to do, and as much as I would love for her to do that now, I was like, she can't do that now. And this is where I'm defending her. The reason she cannot do that now at the time is because I was like, she dug herself too deep in a hole. Because y'all got to think about it. This is a similar situation to all the false allegations and that have put innocent men in prison. The most notable one currently is, of course, the Amber Heard. Now it's also looking like it's going to be the Blake Lively thing going on as well, where she's put a false allegation on I forgot his name, but essentially there are so many people, men and women, who are out here. There was Jesse Smollett, right? There are so many men and women out here who are putting false allegations on people for no reason, right? There's recently, no, I don't know how true this is. I don't know how true this is, but there was recently the girl in like I think it was Texas or somewhere, where it was a false rumor, a false allegation going around that she cheated on her boyfriend with her boyfriend's dad. It's crazy. Shuddy, listen. I'm just saying what I heard. I'm using you as an example. Don't sue me. But listen, but that's another false allegation. Notice how I said it's false, Shuddy. But that's another false allegation, apparently. And so there are a lot of false allegations going around, and you don't know what to believe anymore. That's why, and I hate to bring this up. That's why I see a lot of women getting mad at people saying they don't believe the whole DDG and Halle thing. I'm be honest. I'm like, yo, y'all know I got respect for DDG. I watched DDG growing up. I watched DDG growing up. We got to see more information on that. And the reason I'm saying we need to see more information on that is because we need more. Is because there's so many false allegations being thrown out nowadays. Amber Heard ruined it for a lot of y'all. I'm be honest with you. She ruined it for a lot of you. But there are so many false allegations these days. And but I told my friend back then, I said she honestly has to continue with this lie if she is lying, because at the end of the day, like she's just gonna be she's gonna be a poster child. Because at that point, y'all gotta remember, at that point in time, Amber Heard just got cooked on the stand, bro. She just got eviscerated on the stand. Meg honestly had to continue to lie, but otherwise she'd be a poster child of false allegations like Amber Heard. Simple. She'd be the poster child. In fact, she'd probably be even worse than, because by saying someone shot you, bro, that's basically saying someone just tried to murder you to end your life. She's the poster child of that. She'd be the poster child. More than, in my opinion, more than what Amber Heard would be. Especially because she's a black woman. I'll be honest with you. And so y'all gotta understand this. Meg, she honestly has to continue to keep up the victim persona right now. She has to. And it's more than just like what it was back then, because now y'all gotta remember the trial has happened. The trial has been over with. So I gotta understand this. She got on the stand, put her hand on the Bible, and said, I think something like, I tell the whole truth, I tell the truth, so help me God, right? So, bro, she said an oath to the Lord, right? So, and y'all gotta understand, it's a law to not lie under the oath. If you lie under oath, apparently you're supposed to go to prison. But there are probably a lot of people who have went to prison after being caught lying under oath. But there are also probably a lot of people who haven't went to prison for lying under oath, who were caught. They're probably let go. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I think we know for a fact there are a lot of people that were let go who lied under oath. And so there are a lot of people right now, including myself, that's like, if Meg truly is lying and it comes out that she is lying, like fully lying, and there's a lot of, at this point, even more evidence, in fact, full-blown proof evidence that she's lying, then she's got to go to jail because she lied under oath. And that's got to mean something. If that don't mean anything, then what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Um, but if she goes to jail for this, and y'all know, like, a lot of us, a lot of people have been pushing, men and women have been pushing for people who put false allegations out there to go to prison for the longest. If she goes to prison, that's going to shake up a lot of things. That's going to prove to people, like, hey, you can't be out here putting false allegations on people thinking that you're going to be untouched if it comes out that you lying. Simple. Now, there are a lot of people who, and I can believe what these people are saying. There are a lot of people who believe Meg, and there are a lot of people who don't believe Meg, that are saying, in all honesty, she probably don't even remember what happened, because her and Kelsey were so drunk that night, right? That they both probably barely even remember what happened. And so, like y'all remember when I said there were a lot of things Meg was saying that just sounded so fabricated and out of this world that it's just unbelievable. Y'all remember when I just said there's one thing I want to say is so bad, but I'm not going to, because like I said, I'm gonna start laughing. That sounds so fabricated and so unbelievable that it makes me start laughing. Y'all remember? Like I can truly believe it if she was just like, I don't remember what happened that night. She can't say that now, because yes, that means she would have lied under oath. If she had said that on the stand though, it would have made sense. I don't think anyone would have been mad at her if she had just really came out and said, I don't remember what happened that night. But it's like, I'm be honest. The reason she said that is because she probably caught feelings for Tori and was mad Tori was cracking both her and Kelsey. And she found out, and then he wanted to go crack Kylie Jenner. That's tough. But in all actuality, though, like this situation is a crazy situation. Like I said, I'm very someone that's like free Tory, but at the same time, I understand. I understand why people may not be that way. Um, in a way, I kind of don't like. I kind of believe that why they'd be that way because like we don't know all the information yet. But there are a lot of people. It's like the more and more information that comes out, the more it is looking like that everyone should be on Tory Lane's side with this. But at the same time, we know how society is. Um, but once again, don't get too invested in this situation. It's a very sad situation, a very dark situation. But we got to start with the false allegations out there. Like I said, we're currently now dealing with I think the big one right now, the one I haven't paid much attention to, but the big one right now is the whole Blake Lively one. Then there, of course, there was the Amber Heard one, and then the Jonathan Majors one was another one. But we gotta, and then now the one with that girl that's in college with her boyfriend, like I mentioned earlier. But y'all gotta stop, bro. Stop with the false allegations, man. Like y'all be getting so deep in your feelings and so mad at people that y'all just be doing all this and like y'all hurting people and even yourselves in the process. But y'all not really. And this is where I'm gonna end the video off. For those who are putting false allegations out there, y'all not realizing how much you actually are hurting people other than the person that you're putting that allegation on. You're hurting literal victims, like actual victims, bro. Like I said, like if Halle Bailey actually is a victim, right, of physical abuse, and like the thing about that, bro, is like the reason it makes it hard to believe. And there are gonna be people who are like, their pictures, their pictures. Those pictures could have been from a long time ago before she even got with DDG. But there are people who are like, y'all should believe her. The people like Amber Heard are the reason why they make it hard to believe. People like Amber Heard, people like Blake Lively, simple. Y'all are the reason why it's so hard to believe because y'all putting false allegations on men and women, and then it it hurts actual victims in the process. You know what I'm saying? And so, but anyway, like I said, I don't want no toxicity with this video. Um, but I hope y'all stay blessed. You know, Jesus is gonna show the right way for all of it when it's all said and done. And y'all stay blessed, blessed up. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your life. Don't get too invested in this nonsense, bro. Don't just live your life to the fullest, the best way you know how. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.